All right, we're going to play a little game of charades. I don't know how this is going to go. I've never done this before. This slide, at least. And I toyed with the idea of having one of you come down here and actually act out what this card is going to say. But I thought, no, let's do this instead. The card's going to appear, and I want you just to think, just like Dr. Rachel was saying, just the first thing that comes to mind, just, put a pin in it. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, boom. How would you act out old woman? How would you act it out? Yeah, hunched over like this. Yeah, anybody else? How would you act out old woman, ma'am? Same way. All of us would do the same thing, right? Why? Why is that? It's crazy. You know why? Because we live in a culture that says this. Getting old sucks. Aging sucks. The golden years suck. Even the cat in the hat chimes in. I cannot see. I cannot pee. I cannot chew. I cannot... Oh my God, what can I do? My memory shrinks. My hearing stinks. No sense of smell. I look like hell. My mood is bad. Can you tell? My body's drooping. Have trouble pooping. The golden years have come at last. The golden years can kiss my... Wow. It's going... Dr. Linda, this is negative stuff. Negative stuff. Funny, but negative. It's only funny because we relate to it. Wow. It doesn't have to be this way, you guys. I want to introduce you.
Put that back up. I want to see that.
Well, I'll tell you, it came in my Facebook feed, if that means anything to you. And hopefully after Dr. Rachel really breaking that down and Dr. Linda, that should be like, wow. So yeah, I follow longevity stuff, even if it's negative. I want to introduce you to a patient. And this is kind of a little sidebar. I wrote most of this talk, honestly, at 3 in the morning a couple nights ago. And I'm like, what should I do here? And boom, she came into my mind, and I was like, I really shouldn't do that because I don't have her permission, blah, 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 blah. Guess who came in the next day? Or I should say like 7 hours later. Joyce came in. This is Joyce. And Joyce presented to my office about 2 years ago, looking everything like the old woman we just talked about. She could hardly move. But here's a woman that just exudes beauty in her physical and her spiritual being. She's a very lovely woman. And guess what? She came to me, and she, up to that point that I met her 2 years ago, had just loved life to its maximum. She would travel, and she would just do the things that, play with her grandchildren, do the things she loved doing, and then all of a sudden, it's like the straw that broke the camel's back, and boom, she was done. She could hardly move. And she really was like, I guess this is the end. I didn't want it to be like this, but I guess this is the end. Life's going to suck now, because that's what we've been told. Well, I talked to her like I'm talking, no, not quite like this, but we talked, and I shared with her the information you're going to hear today, and she's like, you know what, I'm all in. I want to do this. I'm going to make a change, and I'm going to put action behind it. And so she joined up with us, and it took some work. It wasn't easy. I put in work, and so did she, and now she's back to how she should be, living with vibrancy. You want to guess how old this woman is? She's 109. No, I'm joking. No, she turns 81 next month.
Wow.
And here's the irony, you guys. We're talking about, like information that's out there, and not to say anything bad about this, but she's a model. If you couldn't tell, she's beautiful. She models for an adaptive clothing company. Adaptive clothing, if you don't know, these are clothes that people that are not aging well have to wear. People that can't button up their own gowns and pull their pants up. And so they have all sorts of clothing to adapt to that unfortunate situation. I hope nobody in this room has to wear adaptive clothing, but she models it. So really, to get her out, old woman, This is really what it should have said. Unhealthy old woman. Because there's no reason why, quote, an old woman shouldn't be walking with just elegance. After all, they're so experienced. They know so much. They have so much to share. And isn't that what we all want? And we want to age with grace and vitality and be able to share moments with our great-great-grandchildren and be a part of their lives. What if you knew that you were going to live to 100? How would you start living your life differently starting right now? Because aging can be a good thing if you prepare for it.